How's it going, everyone? So, SCS Software released a new challenge in American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator called Healing Hope. And what it is, you are delivering COVID-19 vaccines. So I got one of those. We're going from Bakersfield or Barstow. We're going to Prim. Can't remember what town I'm in. So I'm in a 2019 Mac Anthem. Okay, that guy's gonna let me go. As you can see. So usually what I do in this game is I do heavy haul. I don't really do with normal trailers. And I usually put on my modded profiles, not my World of Trucks profile. But my dad was a truck driver ever since I was little. So I spent a lot of time and a lot of great memories with my dad in a truck. When I was really young, we lived near St. Louis, and Anheuser-Busch, if you don't know, is in St. Louis. Well, their incinerators that they use to burn like the hop waste and stuff like that used to be coal power. So me and my dad would every Saturday, me and my dad would go and deliver a load of coal from a coal mine in Illinois to St. Louis. And what was cool is I can't remember the name of the street, but you turn off onto some railroad tracks and you follow the railroad tracks as a semi-truck. And you come over to this awning and there's just this giant crate that either semi-trucks or train cars would unload a coal load. And he'd have to like raise the bed up, pull the truck forward, and I'm speeding because I'm not really paying attention. I'm only doing 60. Oops. And you have to keep pull forward, raise up, pull forward, raise up, pull forward, and raise up until all of the coal was delivered. That was like our go-to thing, and then there are other places I went, like a place called Mississippi Lime, coal mines like Nighthawk and I think Red Hawk. Been all the way up to Hannibal, Missouri. Can't remember what we went to Hannibal, Missouri for. But before we moved down towards the St. Louis area, we lived in Chicago. My dad ran airport freight, so I'd get to see like all the planes up close and personal. That was like when I was 7. Like before I was 7, so like 5 through 7, something like that. And my dad drove a white Freightliner up there. Like in old like FLD type Freightliner, I believe. It might be called the Freightliner Classic now. I don't really know. But when we moved down here, one of the very first trucks I remember being in down in southern Illinois was a white Mac. My dad drove a white Mac for a long time. And then he switched over to, I want to say, a white Freightliner Columbia. The Mac was a Mac Pinnacle. Come on, girl. Get up this hill. So I spent a lot of time, a lot of my childhood, being in some sort of truck. Then my dad switched over to a white Mac Vision, I think it was called. And that was the truck I went up to Hannibal with him in. Because then he got a blue Mac Vision. It was either Mac Vision or Mac Pinnacle. Can't remember. Kind of this shade of blue. But this is an Anthem, not a Pinnacle or a Vision. And so I didn't go with him anymore because also like company didn't want people riding with them anymore for insurance reasons, a bunch of weird stuff. But that truck didn't have a passenger seat. And then like Sundays I would go help him wash the truck quite a bit. There's a secret that my dad told me is if your truck looks clean, you're least likely to get pulled into an inspection. But I mean, these trucks would get nasty because they weren't highway trucks like this. They were going into coal mines, lime caves. So you could imagine that the littlest bit of rain and they'd get absolutely, like white trucks would look black. So, since Mac was a big part of my childhood, one of my favorite trucks to drive are Macs. So, I got an all-Mac truck, and that's what the Gold Bulldog emblem means. Because usually a Gold Bulldog meant it was diesel-powered, I believe. Like, originally, it meant it was diesel-powered. But now it means it's an all-Mac drivetrain. So, Mac engine, Mac transmission. To a stop here, make sure I'm good. Now I don't have track IR for this game because usually I play in VR, but I still can't get my computer to record VR really well. And I know like the truck's interior set up as an automatic, but I'm driving it as a manual and I am floating gears. So I'm not using the clutch to shift except for when I'm going into first gear and I'm taking off. And of course like reverse and stuff. I just prefer it's a 12-speed manual transmission because Macs are now set up quite a bit like Volvos because Volvo owns Mac. So that's our area. So I'm gonna come at this thing at about this angle. have the side mirrors up because I can't really tell what's going on with all the mirrors all the time. Don't want to hit anything because it's a fragile load. There we go. Brakes on. We are good to deliver. That was a short trip, so we're going to see if I can pick up another external contract. Okay, Prim, please have another thing of COVID. No. Yeah, I came from Barstow. I don't want to go back to Barstow because that'd just be a boring trip. Because I'd be going to the exact place that I came out of. Unless there's no more COVID things. Aromatics. Don't want to do pallets. Selena. That might be a bit too far. Okay, let's just see what quick job there is from Prim. Freight market, I mean. Sorry. I don't think my truck can haul that. Because my truck is definitely not set up for heavy haul. There's Oxnard. Albuquerque? They're all super far. You know what? It should be a desert. I guess we're picking it up from here. Honestly, don't know. But what's the worst that could happen? Stop here. What's under freight market? Oh, that's actually going to take a while. This is actually going to take a while because I gotta follow a so let's get my beacons on. So going from COVID to heavy haul. This is going to be a longer video, but hey, you guys deserve it. And it's a game I really love playing. That's going to be my rear guy, and we're going to be following this cop. I think this truck has 405 horsepower, maybe 435. It does not have the biggest engine. That is for sure. Fucking hit that sign. Oops. Yeah, as you can to any major hill, this thing's not going to wanna cooperate. Now the only issue is we're going to be pretty much limited to 40 miles an hour for 321 miles. That truck will not go any faster. The cop's not going to go any faster. But you can see go ahead and get a screenshot of some stuff. So we should be staying on the highway. The cop will let me know exactly where we're going, so I don't need to have my GPS up or my mirrors. I should have my mirrors up because I just can't really see what's going on out. I see what's going on out that mirror, but not that mirror. We'll pull up both mirrors. Just because I want to be able to see. Yeah, we're stuck to 40 here. So do any of you guys have any memories of truck driver? Is anybody a truck driver in your family, or are you guys a truck driver? That's my plan for the future, is immediate future is to become a truck driver. We have a local truck company in the area that I'm hoping to get onto when I get my CDL. It's running pneumatic tanks or dry bulk goods. And what they'll carry is like sand or flour, stuff that can't go in a traditional dump bed. So when I go into this, I'm scared that I'm not going to clear. But I like this game, but the AI and the way they make you go sometimes is dumb. But it's either, because in my area, we don't really have like many jobs that are local freight. Those you gotta go over the road for. I don't mind going over the road if I have to. But like a lot of the companies want you to go out for like 4 weeks and you get 2 days in or something like that. Like I know one of the major companies that help train people, CFI, you get a day for each week you're out. So if you want 3 days off in a row, you gotta work for 3 days, 3 weeks straight. Like I wouldn't mind doing like a 2 weeks out, 1 weekend type deal. Or even 3 weeks out, 1 weekend. I could handle that. But like the company I want to go for, my dad knows a lot about them because my dad the company my dad worked for was contracted through them. So, like with the pneumatic drivers, sometimes you have to be gone a day in like the week, or you're gone every other day, but you're home every other day and then on the weekends usually. Which I am 100% okay with that. That's perfect to me. Because I like my home time. But here's another question for you guys. Would you guys, because I have a second travel called Crash Travels. That's where I do a lot of my like outdoor activities and stuff like that. That's winter, so I started focusing more on, okay, we're going this way. Yeah, now you tell me. I don't know where he's gonna have me go. So we're just going to... Yeah, you can see how long we are. Oh, it's one of these weird diamond things. Get that turbo spooling. So would you guys be interested in seeing like truck vlogs, as long as the company allows it? I don't see why they wouldn't, because then if somebody cuts me off, brake check me, and I crash into them, I have like POV footage of that happening. Given a lot of companies now have dash cams and driver cams, which I do not want to go to a company that has a driver cam. I am 100% fine with a dash cam. The dash cam covers their butt, covers my butt. I'm okay with that. But having a camera that looks at you for only just in case purposes, like, I know people are nosy, and I know people are like, I also don't want them to record audio, because I don't want them to hear me singing along to whatever I'm listening to. You know how embarrassing that would be? So no. No, I don't want the driver cam. 100% fine with dash cams. Because even if the truck company doesn't give me a dash cam, I'm putting a dash cam in my truck, no matter what. Because you never know, I might see a sweet car that I want to get video of. Maybe there's a Lamborghini in front of me. Or an Audi R8. You know how cool that is? So you can see he goes into the middle of the road going, hey, there's a guy with an oversized load. I'm gonna go ahead and put our lights on now. What is this thing anyways? This is a giant silo. Yep, that it is. It is 45 feet tall by 15 feet wide by 15 feet other wide. Oh, it's 45 feet long, 15 feet high, and 15 feet wide. Other wide. God, I'm an idiot sometimes. So we have 211 miles to go. This will probably be about a 40-minute video. because, well, this is what trucking is for the most part. It's this, just going down the road. Given there's a lot more to trucking than that, but this is the most part that people see a lot of. Thankfully 200 miles isn't actual. The map is not a 1-to-1 ratio. I think it's like 136. Like that. But the trucks act how the trucks should. Like their 0 to 60 time is correct and everything like that. That's not going to take like a couple miles to get up to 60. But I do have a map that is 1-to-1 ratio, the Dalton Elliott Highway. That is a pure 1-to-1 ratio, so when it says it's going to take 8 hours, it's going to take you 8 hours to do the trip. I have done a couple. But that's nice road. That'd be something more set up for live stream. That was an F-35 that just flew across the screen. I definitely love how this truck sounds. That's probably super loud. I'm just gonna stay in 10th. I know it's less fuel efficient, but I'm dealing with all these small hills that I'm not allowed to get up speed because there's a cop in front of me. It's, again, only letting me do 40 miles an hour. I'm actually surprised. Like, if we were in Washington or Colorado, this truck would not be able to do this. I'm still early level in this profile, so... Unfortunately, the COVID-19 vaccine missions are actually really hard to come by. I guess that's why you only have to do 7 by the 11. Just use a little bit of engine braking. Come on, we should do 70. Doing 70 with a load like this would not be advisable. That is one thing I wish SCS would let you change, is with the interior, have a manual interior and an automatic interior, so I can get rid of that reverse neutral drive plus minus manual power crap. I drive for the most part in manual all the time. I usually drive a 12 speed if I'm driving a Volvo or this Mac, or a 13 speed. And this truck will go to a 13 speed once I get it actually set up for a heavy haul. Because then it gives you a crawling gear. And to anybody playing this game in manual mode, so a problem that I notice some people have is when they get stuck on a hill, they roll too far back and they'll kill their engine trying to just stomp on the throttle. If you let out your clutch very slowly while your foot's on the brake, you'll watch your RPM drop. That's the clutch catching. and that'll actually stop your rollback and let you get your foot on the gas, and you just continue to let out that clutch slowly, and you'll go up the hill. As long as you have a powerful enough engine. Like sometimes, like if I stopped on a hill with this load, I'm not gonna get started. But that is a way for you to get going again. What town did I just come through? No, I know town. Okay. See, we only have 138 miles left. With this truck, I take up to about 1600 RPM to 1800, and I shift to about 14, put it in gear. Sometimes I still grind gears between floating gears, especially when doing the quick jobs where you're just jumping in a random truck. Because some have 10, some have 18, some have 13, some have 12, some have the different gear ratios. So, if you guys were to buy any truck, if you guys know anything about like semis, what type of truck would it be? Like, as far as like a non-working truck, I would love to have a cab over, like cab over Mac or a Kenworth K100. One of those two. I'd love that as like a show truck. But if I were to buy a truck right now to start my trucking career off, because I'd most likely be running pneumatics that hired on to the local company I want to get hired on to anyways, I would probably go with the 2020 Mack Pinnacle, because it's built more for off-road. It's more of a vocational truck than a highway truck. Mack Anthem I'm on in right now, it's meant to be comfort, highway, over-the-road truck. So I don't think it would hold up as well to go into some of the mines and the quarries and stuff like that. Or there's a they just released the new Western Star 49XX in real life and in the game not too long ago. Like, I actually watched the unveiling of the 49XX. Like, again, I actually love semi trucks and really big into them. Or I could go with, for a classic truck, I could go with everybody's classic favorite, the Rubber Ducks Mack R. Because again, the Bulldog really helped build America. Don't get me wrong, like the Kenworth W900, the 359 Peterbilt, they're all really good looking trucks. And they have that distinct nose, big long nose out in front of them, like screams America. But with me just growing up being in a Mac a lot and just... It's got like a nostalgia feeling to me seeing a Mac Bulldog. Okay, it looks like we are actually coming up to our delivery point. Maybe? No. Alright. Oh, we only in Pioche. I think that's how you pronounce this. Okay. Down gear quite a bit. Take this a little wide. Trying to really keep all my trailer tires on my side of the yellow line. There we go. Yep, Eli forward. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that too. Stay in 9. Grab 10. Continue climbing, continue climbing. There we go. With YouTube's compression, it's probably gonna be dark as heck. I can do this for you. Just blind the crap out of the cops so you guys can see a bit better. Turn that off. I do not condone distracted driving. I take this game serious to a point, but the AI is dumb at points. Like, I'll be waiting for an AI to come and they'll just stop right in my path. I had an AI driver stop at a stop sign and then just pull right into me afterwards. I was like, okay, you had a completely different lane that you could go in, but just smack me, why don't you? Yeah, I know I'm kind of driving close to this side of the road because I know where the side of my tank is. It's kind of hanging over there. I don't want to smack into an AI driver. So, this isn't even the widest load you can carry. There's a really wide load that you just can't see anything behind you. Why can't we go faster, Mr. Cop? Typically, I don't do the ones that you have to follow a cop in. Because I've also had just really bad occasions to where that cop just completely stomps on his brake. For no reason. And then you just crash into the back of them and fail. I'm thinking we'll catch 7th gear. Take this wide. There we go. Yeah, cop, you're in a Ford Explorer. You can easily make it up this hill. I'm actually surprised on how well my truck is doing, so. Right now I'm just trying to keep my momentum going. Is not letting me do that. Now we're going downhill. But right ahead of us, you can see in the distance is Eli. So there's the "you are now entering" sign. Good news is, well, I don't have to stop at this red light, hopefully. Because usually you don't. Now I know in real life, I probably would not be driving right now. Typically, when you have an oversized load like this, you're restricted to daytime hours. You don't plan your route, they plan the route for you. If the wind's too heavy, you're not driving. If there's bad weather, not driving. Too much rain, not driving. Dark, not driving. Which that differs from state to state. But like St. Louis, if you're an oversized load, you're not going through there unless it's during the daytime. Which I don't get. I would personally think it'd be better to go through it like 3 in the morning. There's less cars on the road, less traffic. You're not impeding as much. Oh, what do I know? I don't run a city. Okay. Gotta slow up here. Back in. There we go. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe.